Hello, welcome to First Friday at the Fab Lab, our last First Friday of 2022. And we're super excited to have some students with us today, along with Brandy Jackson, our program director at AMRoC Fab Lab. And our topic today is going to be Hour of Code and Programming and why it's important. And we've got two great students with us. We got Alex, we got Sam. And Brandy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and them, and you guys take it away. Our First Friday is recorded this month. We're going to be running it this evening, and you'll be able to check back on it and learn more and get all the information you need after the event. So go ahead, Brandy, tell us more.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to First Friday. We're actually here celebrating Hour of Code and Computer Science Week, which starts next week, December 5th. Through December 9th. This is a national, it's actually an international movement to bring coding, computer science into the lives of our students and worldwide. And I love Hour of Code. This year we're celebrating our 10th year of Hour of Code. I've actually been doing Hour of Code since the very, very first year. It's what I did in my classroom on a regular basis. And so we're excited to be able to celebrate that here at AMRoC with some of the curriculum we've put on. If you look back on our top back screen behind us in Scoutwire, where all of our lessons are held, we've got an entire book of curriculum that you can download, bring in your class to expand the Hour of Code beyond just the hour next week, because we believe coding is a huge part of the future. It is going to be the foundation of so many careers and innovations. And so we wanted to really take some time to introduce you to some of our students here that participate with us in some AMRoC robotics competitions and talk about the leadership roles they've taken with the different teams and their trajectories and how coding really plays into them. So I am going to let them introduce themselves. Just say your name, your team, how old you are, and where you go to school or how you go to school, and then we'll move on.
Hi, my name is Alexander Washington. I'm in the 12th grade. Currently, I'm on the FRC team. And yeah.
I'm Sam. I'm on the Team Duct Tape FTC team, and I'm homeschooled in 8th grade.
Awesome. So what's really exciting is that the programs we have here at AMRoC, they do expand to all different trajectories. You've got homeschool kids, we got kids at private schools, charter schools, public schools, even micro schools that participate here with us. So we've got two different robotics teams that they're part of. We also have programming with Vex Robotics and Com Robotics and drones. So we're doing all different kinds of robotics here, which really plays into Computer Science Week. But what we're going to focus on for this particular course is coding, the programming part of robotics. When we talk about robotics, people get excited about building the robot, and that's very fun. And they get excited about winning, getting the points, going to competition and winning. But a lot of times it comes down to how is your robot programmed? How are you using your sensors? How are you driving it with that programming in place? So we want to talk a little bit to both of these gentlemen about how long they've been programming, how they learned programming, and what they plan to do within their future. So Sam, I want to start with you because you have an interesting trajectory because you're homeschooled. So you didn't come to this like a teacher didn't hand this to you and say, here, you have to program. How did you first get started programming?
I'd say I did a little bit of Hour of Code and Scratch. And when I did first Lego League, one of the prior competitions for younger kids before First Tech Challenge, I programmed there with Scratch, and I learned a lot of programming there. And then about 2 years ago, my father gifted me a Arduino kit, and I looked up online some videos, and I learned how to program it. And I started making my own projects and figuring stuff out myself that way.
So for those of you who are not aware of it, Scratch is a block-based coding program. We used to have some programs in where we just did picture-based. But now we graduate from picture-based all the way up. And these two gentlemen, they're actually part of First Robotics Competition, which is the very large robots. That's what Alex is part of. His robot is almost as tall as me.
220 pounds.
220-pound robot. And Sam is on the FTC team. And that is, we call it a tiny robot because it's only this big.
Still can do something.
It's still very big, very industrial, but they're really working with it. So you started with Scratch, which is the picture base. When you're doing Arduino, do you still do picture based and block based coding, or have you graduated to an actual language?
With Arduino, I've moved on to the C++ like language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I use for Arduino.
So have you started doing any Python or Java at all yet?
I've done Python. I've made several projects like web apps with Python, and I've also used Java for making modifications to Minecraft, my favorite video game.
Okay, so wait a minute. This is something that people I don't think always understand. Like, when we're talking about like a language, like in high school, I took Spanish.
Yeah.
I learned Spanish. I didn't learn Spanish and French and German and English. But you're saying with coding, you actually can work in lots of different languages?
That's right. I would say I'm the most proficient in Python. And in the rest, I can transfer some of my knowledge since some things are similar. And when I can't.
So did you attend like actual specific courses to learn coding, or did you pick a lot of it with like virtual resources?
I took a few classes for Python, which is part of why I think I'm the most proficient at it. But for the rest of the languages, it was mostly me watching YouTube videos and making connections between languages.
Awesome. So that's one of the resources we provide is as we build out these activities, as we have people like Sam and Alex coming into AMRoC and they're like, oh my gosh, I learned so much from this video. We'll actually build out lessons that you can use in your classroom and your home and with your kids or even you yourself to learn just like Sam did, being very self-taught and with coding. So Sam is in 8th grade, right? So he's still very much moving into his future with coding. But Alex here, he's a senior, which means he is quickly moving into full-on adulthood. So Alex, tell us a little bit about your journey in coding. Like, where did you start coding?
I started coding in 3rd grade, elementary school back in the Middle East. I started coding with Scratch and a little bit of code.org. And it started with my teacher introducing me to it. And I remember I definitely skipped class to go into her periods. And it was not the best idea, but I still passed class. That's all that matters at the end of the day, right? And from there, I did robotics for like Lego robotics, just like him. I did a few Lego robotics. And then when we moved on to middle school, I started getting more into C++ and C# because I was at that time doing Unreal and Unity work for UE4.
Okay, so hold on, because now we're moving into a whole different platform of coding. So you've developed code for apps, right?
I've made some web applications.
You've made some web applications and obviously coding for your robots and using Arduino to do kind of Internet of Things. That's how Arduino is it's a small microprocessor. Like you can literally get them for like about $45. And you can get like different parts of your home and different things that talk to each other. Like we've got over in the corner over here, we have an aquaponic system. We could have it programmed completely with Arduino to move everything around. But maybe they'll get on that in a couple weeks for us, which would be awesome. But we've got video game design, we've got robotics, we've got web apps, but now because Scratch, you do a lot of like simple, like I remember my favorite hour of code activity. There used to be this game called Flappy Bird. Do you guys remember Flappy Bird? So hour of code, one of the very first lessons is the Flappy Bird lesson. And my students love to do Crashy Santa because he would fly up and down and crash into the
pipes.
And not into the pipes, into the chimneys.
Chimneys.
And Smashy Fish. And Smashy Fish would do
I haven't seen that one now.
So you can change it from the duck to Santa to a fish. The fish goes to underwater pipes. That's, same thing. So those are like creating really simple video games. But you're talking about.
I was making full-on 3D model shooters, fighters. I think because like right now, I'm currently working on. I kind of put it on hold because of college applications, but I'm currently working on a VR game that is. The only people who've played it have come to my house. And it's like they kind of ask why I have this like entire fancy neon setup, and why when you come into the room, it's pitch black dark, but I have sensor lights, so it just kind of cuts to highly vibrant pink neon. And then they put on the VR headset, and they're like, "Wow, I'm able to grab this entire person like he's real," and just.
Well, we don't necessarily suggest using
Doing
video
that.
game design for violence,
Not
but
really.
coding is awesome. But you're building in, what were the languages you said you were just working in?
C++ and C#.
And what was for the actual video game design? Like, what was that? Was it Unreal?
So for the video game I'm making now is Unreal, but before I was using Unity, because Unity, I recommend Unity if you're trying to learn how to like do basic coding, such as like if you're trying to learn just how to use the UI, how to use rendering. It doesn't have the best rendering, not like Unreal Engine, but Unity is more so to the fact like, hey, I'm learning how to code. What do I use to like actually get into it? But when you actually legitimately start, like when you know what you're doing, you know how to do like web codes, how to link things up properly, how to hook them up to each other, and then how to run them. I always will 100% say Unreal Engine right after that, just because on a rendering point, they make your game, no matter how, like if you're not good at creating models, they make the models look really nice.
Nice.
The amount of detail that goes into them, really nice. So if I were to recommend anything, I would 100% recommend doing Unreal Engine if you're experienced, Unity if you're new. And they're both free. So who's stopping you?
Yeah, 100%. So what are some things that you've done? Like, I know you're at homeschool, so you're like, doing it all on your own, but as you're moving into coding, I know for me, I, as a teacher, as I teach students something and they have to pass a test. So is there like a pass a test for coding? Like, is there?
For Unreal Engine, for the courses, for what I took back in middle school, the club that we had to design almost every 3 weeks. We would meet up together and we would have a prompt, and we would basically see who has the best game, and we just grab random students from the hallways during their lunch periods and say, hey, come out, try this game that I just built. Hey, yo, you see this I got here? Try it out real quick. Play real quick. Tell me which one's better.
So that's kind of portfolio learning, which a lot of times homeschools and charter schools do a lot of portfolio learning. But when you're going to go and like get a job, you have to have like certifications.
You have to have certifications, and for that, so recently I took a summer job at LT3, and they did an intro to programming course, and I already know that, but it's good to have the certification for it. And now over there, I got paid to take a certification that I would have otherwise needed to pay for myself. And I did get the chance to help other students pass that test. And out of the 9 students, I think we're in there, all of us got through. None of us actually failed that test.
So that is great. So that's one of the things that I think is really awesome about AMRoC is we believe in something called institutional knowledge, to where one person comes in, learns something, and they invest and they share it and they share it and they share it. For example, Alex, how long have you been coming to AMRoC?
So I started coming since the beginning of August.
So since August, he went to LT3 Labs, got some certifications there, is now in here, and he's helping coach teams, write some lessons, and has joined the higher level FRC team. Sam, how long have you been involved at AMRoC?
I came to AMRoC in August. I first visited in the summer, and I joined the FTC team in August, around then.
So one of the things that people don't understand a lot of times, like when you go into a middle school or a high school, you kind of have to work your way into a team. Do you have to work your way into a team here?
No, you come here.
You just come here, join, learn.
Join, and exactly, you learn.
Yeah, that's our model. Our model is that robotics should never have a limitation for you to come in. And if the limitation is coding, we want to help put resources together. So like Sam and Alex are helping us, gather materials, put them up in the community library under AMRoC so you can find things. If you are new to coding, the Hour of Code is a great place to start. And you should never, ever feel like you don't know enough, because No teacher taught, a teacher isn't what gets you excited about coding. It's what you're interested in. And it's like a pathway, right? Like you started with Scratch and you moved up into Java and Python and C++. You're going, how many languages do you know?
C++, C#, Python. I know a little bit of binary. It's really just zeros and ones, but I know enough to like try and type out simple code with it. I'm currently learning A+ at my school, Tampa Bay Tech, and I also know how to do HTML.
So these are like huge career skills. So Sam, I know you're in middle school and people are going to be like, why are you thinking about it already? But are you thinking about what you want to do next level?
Yes. I do have a vision of doing things with software and robotics as my career in the future. And I want to continue making projects. So that's a lot of what I do. I think that since I don't have some opportunities for certification that you might have at school, what I do instead is I make my projects and I make YouTube videos about them and I put them on GitHub so everybody can see them and I can present what I've done to other people.
Well, just so you know, people often think that. People think if I'm not in a traditional classroom, I can't get certifications. And that is 100% not true. All you have to do is know where to get them. So number one, you could obviously walk down the hall to LT3 Lab. You have to be a little bit older because how old are you?
13.
Yeah, he's not quite old enough yet.
Actually, when he starts high school, they are currently working on a high school program.
Yeah.
So if you are in 9th grade starting summer jobs, he's working on a program for a intro to technologies course. And so he will basically teach you how to do bowling strategies, basic prompts, basic code, stuff like that. It's really simple. I helped around and helped basically teach some people how to do some things.
Yeah, because kids are great teachers. I will tell you, when I first got my very first job in robotics, I was actually an English teacher, but the only job was a half-time computer science job. So I took it because I had to pay my mortgage. That's the adult things. And I actually learned all my coding skills from my students, 100%. Like I knew nothing. I was like, hey, I can build with Legos, but my students did all the coding. And now look where we are now. It's just being willing to take that step. And go ahead.
If I could also make another recommendation, if you're not able to make it to a physical location, say you might have some motor disability, say you can't really walk or you can't really get anywhere too fast, you have to be somewhere more in a controlled area. What I can recommend to you is Gmetrics Microsoft. You can get your certifications on there. I'd say first, find out what certification you want to get on Microsoft. Next, sign up for the course on how to learn it in Gmetrics. Every course is on there. You can get everything from entrepreneurship to coding to cooking. It's crazy. And if you need a certification for a job, what I recommend is you get that ahead of time, get as much as you humanly can, and just keep stacking it. Because there's no real limit to what you can do with a certification. Because nobody can really take the knowledge from you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I know C++.
And you've got that skill forever. So you're wanting to go into robotics and software. What are you thinking about doing?
For me, I'm definitely probably going to go into computer engineering, and I'm most likely going to end up minoring into business because I do have a knack for it, so I enjoy doing it a lot.
Very cool. Well, as you can see here at AMRoC, we're investing into kids right now. We've got some people, they're actually sneaking in the back quarter. Some of our college level students it's okay. You can even walk through where they could see you. It'd be crazy. We're gonna give you a sneak peek.
Hey,
we're gonna catch them. So often people really think, oh, robotics, it's an all guy thing, and it's not. It's we've got robotics is for everyone. We start robotics as young as like 6 years old, all the way up to college. We call it K to gray for a reason. We got little kids that come in. We got some gray hair. I got like 20 last week, I think, that really are involved in robotics. And it's so amazing how many of these people when you find out they actually started at scratch with Hour of Code and learning some basics, and then they just kept on moving. So if you don't know anything about robotics, this next week is Hour of Code. Go participate, go make a game, make a fun little app, get your little certificate, hang it on the wall. It's a fun little thing. Then if you're local to our area and you want to do more, come into AMRoC. Come in, check it out, come and hang out with these great guys, the people in the back. Terry, take your camera to the side. Hang out with some of our girls that do robotics, some of our guys. I think the girls are still hiding.
No, they're there. They're back here somewhere.
There they are. Okay, there's back there that are doing awesome things in robotics and get involved. And if you are a teacher and you're in the school day and you're like, I can't come take a field trip, that's all right, because our curriculum is in scoutlighter.com. It's 100% free, and the robotics comes right there to you. So, guys, I know robotics competition is like getting underway, and you probably need to get back to work. And
I wanted to hop in real quick. So these guys didn't really get much of a heads up that we were going to do this. I want people to know that, right? So they basically walked in and we were working on what we were going to do for First Friday, and we first wrangled Alex, and then Sam showed up, and it's like, oh, okay, we're set. So why this is important to me is because you guys are great students, but you're not exceptions to the rule, right? Everybody who has an opportunity to learn these things has an opportunity to succeed and to excel in different parts of the community, and look at different careers that they want to do, look at different academic and trades opportunities. So I want to assure people that, I mean, as special as I think Alex and Sam really are, there are lots of Alexes and Sams out there. And the other students we have, and Dahlia, Jaleese, and all these other students that we have, students just need opportunities, right? They need access to these things, and adults shouldn't be intimidated, shouldn't feel intimidated. I don't know this, so they can't learn it, right? That's not the case. The tools are out there. We've been popping up the different links for all the different resources, all of which are free.
Yeah.
So, and it's got from Scoutlighter to all the different Hour of Code things. These things are available out there. AMRoC is, your one-stop shop, and definitely folks can always drop in over here. But the important thing to know here is that, these are tools that all students and many of us need going into the future. And you've heard the students say they can basically bring themselves through these programs, right? And we facilitate. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Brandy, but I think that's really important to know.
I think one of the things that's really awesome is by working with some of our community partners. We've got laptops here, we've got desktop computers, we have VR headsets, we have every robotics organization known to man. We're even inventing our own with one of our new partners. Our goal is to make sure that any child that has any interest at all can come in here and not be limited by financial or family support. As long as we can get you here, we can get you learning. And then we continue those resources K to grade. If you're an adult and you didn't get to do some of the stuff when you were young and you want to learn now, we're here for you. We just launched our new entrepreneurship programs. We've got young innovators, entrepreneurs going on where they're actually inventing with these technologies. And then we've got adult entrepreneurship and equity and entrepreneurship where they're starting businesses here too. We really are a place where we're building collaboration and building a community for the future and making sure that everyone that comes to our place knows that they've got a career path to follow. So guys, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Thanks, Terry, for hosting this. And we're super excited. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, just one quick thing. To get started with coding, there's really no real excuse you can give. Say if you have some kind of mental disability, maybe ADHD, you're very scattered brain. Coding is perfect, actually. You're gonna be doing everything most of the time. Like one day you're gonna be doing, say, if you want to do video game coding, one day you're coding how to make a grenade. You're gonna be studying that for about like an hour, maybe 3. Then you're gonna have to next figure out how to make the rendering for that thing actually work, how to make sure that this doesn't break the entire game. And then you're not ever going to be doing the same thing over and over and over. It's always going to be different. And one thing is that it's limitless. Coding's limitless. No matter how long, we literally made a language where we can create anything. Video games, we can create anything. Just sky's the limit here.
Yep. Computer science.
I don't even think that's the limit.
No, the universe is the limit.
Yeah. And hey, if money is an issue, again, there's hundreds of places where you can go, probably in your neighborhood. Just pick up a laptop. Hey, if you have a phone, you can still code on a phone, which is crazy. Like, you couldn't code on Unreal or anything like that, but you could easily go into like a script code.
Mm-hmm.
You could just start coding on there. You got a tablet, especially on a tablet, iPad tablet. App development is easy to do. A laptop. If you have a laptop, then you're set to do anything really.
Yep. Computer science, it's a great equalizer. As long as you learn the basic skills, you'll get it done. Yep.
And the best part, if you say you want to do game design like me, right? My parents made me earn my my PC setup. So back in middle school, what I did is I would do jobs with a really bad laptop that I had at the time, and I would do rendering quality. So people would send in models to me. I already knew how to do rendering back in Blender. And so I would render a model to a certain point where it looks really done, well finished. They pay you, you keep getting the money, you buy your own PC setup, you start making your way.
Yeah, so basically you use your computer science skills as a gig economy to build your dreams.
Yes.
That's what we're here for. All right, guys, I got to go and y'all got to get to work because it's competition season.
Yeah, I gotta get to caddying. I have so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks,
Thank
Terry.
you. Peace.